Hi, this video is going to cover the pricing and accessorials section for the iOS Survey HD product. So we've gone ahead here and set up our move. The only components left are adding in any accessorials or pricing. One of the second places that you're going to find your accessorials is under the accessorial summary. So if I hit the little I next to that, you're going to find those accessorials pop up here. You can toggle at the top of this window between origin and destination to select what location you're going to assign these accessorials at. In here, if I touch on labor, you can enter in extra labor in or even wait time by the hour for different things that would justify your extra labor. Your SIT is in here. All you're going to do for SIT is punch in the amount of days that you would need. What it will do is it'll open up additional fields for you here. And what it's going to ask you for is your shipment weight. Now, typically your SIT, if you had SIT on a shipment, you would be storing the entire shipment. So it's asking for what your shipment weight would be. Now, if you're storing something different from your total shipment weight that's reflective in the cube sheet, you can leave it as is. But if you're wanting to do something a little bit different than the 4,281 pounds we've developed through our cube sheet, what I would do here is then type that in. So if it's the entire shipment that you're storing in SIT, just leave it as is. If it's only a portion of the shipment, go ahead and enter that shipment weight in. You're also going to want to enter in the miles for your SIT in here as well. I believe anything over, I think it's probably 25 or 35 miles or something like that. There's probably an extra kicker that goes into the pickup fee for SIT. But you'd punch your mileage in there. And then also your SIT zip, and typically it's the same zip 3 that your origin address is in. So SIT is pretty easy to enter in. Shuttle, same deal. You're just going to go ahead and toggle that over to on. And then what you have there under shuttle, it's asking once again for your shuttle weight. Now this is probably more of a common scenario where you're only shuttling a portion of the shipment, for situations where maybe you have like an extra pickup at a mini storage or something like that. So if I'm not shuttling the entire 4,200 pounds and I'm only shuttling 1,000 of it, I would touch shipment weight here, and from here I'd put in 1,000 pounds. What it will do is then calculate my shuttle based on 1,000 pounds instead of the entire shipment weight. So you can select what weight you want to use. Now if you're doing it once again on the entire shipment, just leave the field blank with shipment weight in there, and you're good to go. You have your overtime pack and overtime load toggles in there. Those are simple, just turn them on or off. You have your full pack option. This is where you're going to find your weight-based full pack according to the 400 series tariffs. Now, how the program calculates packing is you're entering cartons in as carrier packed through the surveying process. It's automatically going to calculate the cost for packing as an itemized pack count. Now, if you want to apply the full pack, this is where you would override that by turning that toggle over to on. It'll override your itemized pack count and apply the weight-based packing charges for you. Below that, you have mini storage. If you have a mini storage that you need to include, you can go ahead and add that mini storage weight in there. Now, if you've added the mini storage and then you need to remove it at a later point for some reason or another, you can just swipe there and then hit delete. That removes the mini storage for you. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine in there. Then you have vehicle weights. If you're hauling cars in van, you're not going to enter a vehicle weight in here. You're going to actually enter the vehicle in as a bulky article through the surveying process, and that's done under the survey screen. The bulky articles within the survey itself are automatically accounted for as you survey them. So it doesn't matter what room you put them in. If you survey something like a piano or a automobile, it's automatically going to add the bulky article charge in. Below that, you have special services. This is where you're going to find your exclusive use, space reservation, and then also your expedited service provisions. These are simple toggles to use, and then go ahead and punch in the appropriate information in there for like space reservation. So all of your accessorials are the same, whether it's at origin or destination. The designation at the top is where you're going to apply the charge at. So if I'm applying these charges at destination, I make sure that I enter them in here. If I'm applying at origin, I touch origin, and then I enter them in here. So that is another place that you'll find your accessorials. And now you can see at the accessorial summary, it's building those costs in. Under pricing information, this is where I'm going to go to set up the basic parameters for my move. So in here, I have my valuation options. Right now, it's 60 cents per pound by default, but I can touch there, and then I can roll to my different options. It'll load those different options for me. It's multiplying the weight of the shipment by $6, so it's coming up with my minimum level of coverage. I can select an amount higher than that if I need to. It's listing what my charge is for that. You can also access your miscellaneous items from this field here. So if I touch here, you can see those two miscellaneous items that I've already added in. One was for the crate, which we did in an earlier video. The other was for a clock service that was part of a smart item that we added from a previous video. In order to remove these, it's real simple. You swipe and hit delete to remove them. So that's how you get rid of those if you didn't need them. Below that, you have your fuel surcharge. I'm going to go ahead and roll this to the fuel here. If you're using Quick Move should be sending down the fuel surcharge for you. If you're not using Quick Move, this is something that you're going to need to manually select within the application. Your IRR surcharge is in there as well. You have your use peak rates toggle on or off to apply those depending on different date ranges over the summer. You have your price packing toggle on or off. So with it turned on, it's going to go ahead and price my packing at the itemized pack that I've done while I've surveyed those carrier pack cartons. If I turn it off, it's going to remove all those packing costs with the exception of mattress cartons. Below that, you have your discounting provisions in here. Bottom line, I think, is probably most common, but you can see in here I have my SIT discount that I can put in. So if I want to do that at 63%, and then I want to do my bottom line at 20, or I don't know, let's do 50% on that. You can set those up. Also, your crating discount is in there as well. So if you build your own crates and you're using the crating provision in your tariff to calculate the cost of those rates, you can go ahead and discount those separately. So once you've set this up and you have all your pricing provisions in there, at the very top, you're going to see that view totals. If I touch view totals, what it's going to do is go ahead and run through and develop the pricing for me. So in here, you can see the weight, you can see the transportation, accessorials, your packing, everything's broke down for you. You can see your total price. Now, these little eyes that are out to the next or out to the right of this, these different sections allow you to go into each section and edit it accordingly. So this is really a third place that you would go to find your accessorials. For example, the shuttle. If I didn't need it, and let me hit OK here. Let me hit the eye. The shuttle at origin. We had that on. If I want to turn it off, I turn it off. Go back to my accessorials, go back to my price summary, and now my cost is adjusted without the shuttle. Same principle for the SIT. I can go into the SIT to remove that to fine-tune my pricing. I can set my days at 0, go back again, and now my cost once again is adjusted. So you can go in and tinker with the pricing as necessary. Touching on any of these, like transportation here, breaks your transportation out. Packing breaks your packing out for you, so you can see your packing and unpacking charges, so on and so forth. Miscellaneous, you're going to be able to see the breakdown there. I can see what my fuel, my bulkies are, my miscellaneous items, extra stops, those sorts of things. And then when you're ready to print or produce this document for the customer, you're going to go ahead and hit the print box in the upper right. And then that loads up your report options for you. So let me hit done here. We'll cover the reports in a later video and how all that works. One of the other things I want to point out is your pack summary. One of the cool things that you can do down here with the pack summary, if I go into there, let's say you have that customer where you've priced a full pack out for them where you're going to go in and you're packing everything. And they say, well, I kind of just want you to pack the glass, that sort of thing. In here, you have the option to edit any of these cartons on the fly. So if I want to get rid of these carrier packed 1.5s, I can do so. And you have options, either the blue dots next to the quantities there to move different cartons over, or you can move complete groups of cartons over by the options at the bottom. So if I hit at the bottom CP to PBO, You see how it moved everything from every room that was a carrier packed 1.5 over to a PBO 1.5. So you could technically go in and do this for any of the non-glass type cartons to develop a glass only pack scenario. So very easy to do this. You're just going to go down through here, move these cartons over as necessary. I'll leave my dish packs in there. I'll leave my mirrors in there. But I've moved everything else over to the PBO column. Now I can go to my view totals at the top and reprice it with that glass only pack scenario. So that's another pricing option for you, and an example of the flexibility we give you with the pricing in the application.